Folks, how are we doing today? All right, so today I wanted to talk about Bitcoin and BTCI, guys. Admittedly, Bitcoin has been crushed like 20-30% down over the past, honestly, week or 2 weeks. It has been getting depreciated, it has been getting depressed considerably, and it's going to have an impact on BTCI. This is the risk we take when we invest in a volatile asset like crypto. But I want to look at the benefits of BTCI relative to Bitcoin during the downswing because we are protected a little bit by the premiums generated by the covered call assets. And we'll see what happens during the next payout. It's not going to be pleasant. It's not going to be a great one, guys. But let's look at the reality of what is happening with BTCI and Bitcoin. All right, guys, we are here at the Patreon. Guys, if you want to sign up to the Patreon, please join the link below. Sign up to the link below, and you'll get access to all the calculators that I have. And if you want to do one-on-one coaching sessions and chat about personal finance, please let me know in the comments below. All right, guys. So let's start off with the look. Let's look at Seeking Alpha and look at BTCI and what it has done over the past year to date, and recently, guys. All right. So over the past year, from a price return standpoint, price return, BTCI has netted us a negative 29% price return. So quite different than what we've seen in past weeks. BTCI has been getting crushed, admittedly, and that's a result of what's happening with the underlying asset in Bitcoin. All right. Looking at a comparable ETF that is holding spot Bitcoin, IBIT, that is down 14-15% over the past year. But again, this is price return. Um, really the majority of the pain has come over the past month, if not couple weeks, where we can see now here like negative 24% price return, negative 24% price return for both BTCI and IBIT, right? But because BTCI is a distribution player of a covered call strategy, it certainly is going to look different in terms of total return versus price return, guys. All right, so if we look at year to date BTCI, with the total return is only down negative 5%, whereas IBIT down negative almost 10%, or Bitcoin down 10% year to date. And then the 1 year, we have BTCI down negative 8% or negative 9%, 8.88%, and IBIT is down 14%. So not as bad of a story when you look at the total returns, guys. But of course, if you had invested, over the past month, you're going to be getting crushed. It's going to be a tough sled right now, guys. And ultimately, this is the volatility of Bitcoin. And this is why, you can generate such strong yields and premiums with Bitcoin. It's due to that volatility, right? The covered call the options calls offer these such lucrative premiums as a result of this volatility to the upside and to the downside, right? So you can see here that the total returns and the premiums are what's helping us um, mitigate some of that downside, right? As we talk about in the past, the distributions are going to help mitigate. They're going to cap our upside, but mitigate our downside, and that's exactly what is happening. You can see year to date, BTCI again down 5%, whereas IBIT or Bitcoin down 10% year to date. So, while it's not great what's happening with Bitcoin, with BTCI, you are still going to see those distributions, those monthly distributions. Now, the monthly distribution is going to decline. If you look at under the hood with how BTCI works, a portion of what they provide to you in the distributions is capital gains, and a portion is premiums, is income from the options premium, right? Maybe now they'll have to rebalance the income to be the distributions to be more premium weighted and less capital gains weighted, because there are no capital gains now, right? There's net losses now, this month, and net losses maybe last month, primarily this month, net losses. So what's going to be left is our premium. So, the distributions, they'll decline, and they should decline. I don't want to see as high of a distribution in terms of number in terms of its actual sum number of the premium, because then it shows that they might be eating into the NAV a lot more than we need to be. Sure, certainly maybe the yield would show a higher increase, but we don't want to see the premium be very high. We want to see that be lower, and we want to see maybe a little higher premium. Um, I built a small simulation, a covered call simulator, that looks at what would happen, should we start to continually see declines with BTC. And these metrics here, ultimately they have set up how BTCI works with volatility, with the strikes, with the options and whatnot, and the expected shares for you can adjust this. But assuming that we continue to see down draws of 7%, of 10%, the yields might stay again stable, but your distribution amounts will come down, and maybe the yields might slightly go up, but your NAV is declining so much, there's less assets to work with, and the premium will come down, right? And with that, let's say, right now you have a distribution of like 5,500 right now, and I would assume, should the market continue to depress, if you had 5,000 shares doing, 5,500 a month in payouts, you're probably, in a down cycle, looking at, in a heavy down cycle, looking at like shaving $1,000 off of that distribution as a result of the NAV decline. All right. And that's exactly what happened, with a JEPI. If we look at JEPI and we go back and we can scroll back to like 2023, let's go here and look at this dividend growth thing. So 2022 we had a bit of a bull run, right? We saw a lot of dividend growth, but then in 2023 we saw dividends distributions for JEPI, another covered call strategy. Yes, it's for another asset, but these covered call structures, they all move similarly by way of their NAV. So the weakening NAV, that's going to depress the growth of the dividend, the payout. Um, and so you're going to see weaker payouts during that period. And as things move up again, you'll see higher payouts. It'll potentially, right? That's all speculation, but likely with a weaker NAV, you're going to see weaker payouts distributions. Maybe the yield goes up, but payouts come down. And then when we get back into a bull run, we'll get the payouts back to where they need to be, guys. But ultimately, we're in a bit of a bear period. We're in a bear patch. That's the risk you take with Bitcoin, but that is okay with BTCI because you're still going to get those distributions. This isn't financial advice, but the best way to play this might be to to reinvest your dividends. Now that we're seeing weakness, because now you're going to be buying in at the much lower price. So for when the next, bull run happens, the next bull patch happens, you're going to capitalize on those lower share costs as the market goes back up, right? So if you've been withdrawing all your dividends and not reinvesting, this might be a time to flip that strategy, start dripping, capitalize on these lower prices, and ride the wave back up, guys. Not financial advice, but that's probably something I'm going to do. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think about BTCI. Are you fearful of it? Are you sticking with it? What are you doing? Ultimately, if you buy into this, if you're bought into it, you have to take a long-term approach, guys. Things like this will happen. It's Bitcoin. It's volatile. Um, we got to ride the waves. If we get shaken out with one bear patch, then we have weekends. We have weekends, and we probably shouldn't be investing in Bitcoin, such a volatile asset. But if you have faith in the underlying asset, if you have faith that Bitcoin is a revolutionary digital currency or digital asset, currency, security, however you want to name it, that will stand the test of time. It has its merits, and it's a hedge against a lot of different things. If you believe in its underlying properties um, of money, then you'll hold for the long run. But if you do not, then maybe you want to consider other assets instead of this, guys. So anyways, let me know in the comments below. Sub to the channel. All the best. We're going to continue to do videos on this topic, and I will put this this covered call simulator for the BTCI downswing in the Patreon, guys. So all the best and cheers.